Everybody, welcome back to the channel and more Blood and Plunder coverage here as we work our way through the remaining British characters. Got Read Elding up today on the list here, so we're going to jump in and see what we get for our points investment and how this character can be useful for us if we want to field him. So he's clocking in at 28 points. We do have some options on what he can lead, basically British Raiders, Militia, or Privateers, so a fair few forces there. It's got a fairly typical 12-inch command range, and then the 2 command points. For the points cost, though, it might have been nice to see like that 3rd command point, but we can't have everything, of course. It does have the brace of pistols and standard melee weapon, so he's going to be A-okay as far as shooting pistols every turn. And then here, though, just 2 rules that we get. Very Inspiring and Felicitous. We've seen Inspiring, but we have not seen the other one yet, so let's take a look and see what that means for us when we're fielding him in these lists. So, Very Inspiring. All friendly units within command range of him may reroll any failed rally test results. So, always nice. So we got that 24-inch bubble. And again, if we're taking rally tests here, we get that free reroll, which helps us not spend fortune points on that kind of stuff. So always nice to have, and it will hopefully help keep our forces in the fight longer and start shedding some of that fatigue as it piles up. Now, the other ability, Felicitous, is a pretty neat one, and really, I think so far we haven't seen that in any other of the characters. But basically, if a force that includes this commander begins a turn with no fortune points, it immediately gains 1. So there is an sort of an impetus to be a little bit more aggressive with those fortune points, because unlike pretty much every other character, at least the ones that don't have this ability, right, we have the ability to gain fortune points, which is, few and far between as far as ways to do that. So yeah, if we can be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more liberal with our use of those fortune points to get the key rerolls and other things that we need to do with them. And then basically, as long as we're starting the turn without one, then we just gain 1 back. So if it's getting to like the later part of a turn and you just have 1 left, there's no sense necessarily holding on to it. Even if it normally would be something where you wouldn't want to burn that fortune point on something or use it. But if we start the turn with 1, we're not gaining 1. So there's really no harm in using it on some rolls or situations that we maybe otherwise wouldn't always spend that point on, because we're just going to get it back on the next turn. So it lets us really get quite a bit of mileage out of that. And ideally, depending on how long the game is going, and obviously we got to keep this character around and alive and all that, that really can get us some extra mileage out of that out of this ability, and really that much more fortune to spend, right? So if we get max use out of this, really we should try to, certainly by the mid game, be getting this ability active so that we can just start each turn with those fortune points. So nice way to get a lot of extra mileage out of that. So between Very Inspiring and this, we get a force that really should pass quite handily most of its rally tests without necessarily having to burn the fortune points there. We get that built in. Let's spend the fortune on other rolls. And then here we essentially get, as long as the character is staying alive, so we've got to certainly be careful of what damage and what shooting and combat and stuff he's potentially exposed to. So we certainly want to keep his unit in as good of condition as possible. But then we can start generating additional fortune points and really get some extra usage out of there. And always fun to see, when like, hey, you're getting fortune every turn and your opponent's already out, and they just, they can't do anything about that. So really cool character here, guys. Let us know if you have fielded Read Elding. What have you fielded him in? Have you gone Raiders, Militia, or Privateers? Where do you think he's fit best for you so far? And how much use have you gotten out of his abilities? Hit us up in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one for some more Blood and Plunder.